New Zealand has the highest rate of domestic abuse in the developed world. Abuse needs silence to thrive. Simone Butler, herself a survivor, meets those brave enough to break their silence.
I was born in Samoa in a village called Whānau in Savai'i. In 1970, Mum and Dad decided to bring our family here. We moved into a state house in Cannon Street in Porirua, and we shared that house with many cousins who we brought over from Samoa. So one day, one of the older cousins was taking care of us. My older cousin, he sexually abused me. I didn't know what it was. I just knew it felt wrong. And I just remember he said, "Don't tell anyone, or else." So I never did. I think culturally we are taught if it brings shame to the family name, brings shame to God, no, we don't talk about it. I met my husband at church, big Samoan congregation. He played in a band as well, so musically we had a lot in common. I thought I found my warrior who was going to defend me, stuck up, because I told him about my sexual abuse, and he was so supportive. Fell in love, got married, had our children. For a long time it was so wonderful. And then the beatings started. All of a sudden something's happened, or I've said something, and boom. I began to recognize the triggers. Don't talk to him during this time because he's just come off work. Or don't bring up anything heavy when you see that look on his face. In my mind, every single time, I must have done something. It must be my fault. My piano was in the garage. And whenever I'd get beaten or put down, I ran a load of washing. And then I'd go to the garage and hang it up, because we had lines in the garage. And to try and maybe to calm myself, I'd just go to the piano and start playing hymns and start singing the hymns, and I'd just play and sing. And it would just bring me back to like, you're okay. You can go back into the house now. You're okay. But then as the beating started again, I realized I'm back to just do what you're told. You don't work. I'm your survival. You're ugly. You're fat. Without me, who would want you? And so those were the narratives that just kept replaying in my head. We had a really bad argument one time, and he hit me, and I left with the children. I went to two of my very closest friends for support and finally told them what was happening. And they wouldn't let me leave. They said, "No, you're moving in here with..." I had 5 children. And I'm looking at them and their beautiful family. I'm like, "No, I'm not going to put you out. There's a whole 4-bedroom house." And no. So at the end of the day, night time, we went home and their beds were already, the house was immaculate. It was so clean. He was in the lounge and he said, "Look, I cleaned. Did you want me to serve you anything to eat?" And I just said, "No, I just want you to leave. You can't keep doing this." and now you're hurting our kids. I don't want them growing up. And he wouldn't leave. Next thing I remember is I'm on the floor and he's smashing the guitar over my head. Then I hear my son screaming, "Dad, stop, stop." And I look up and he's holding, the part where you tune the guitar, because it's all smashed. And I remember just feeling so sore all over. I don't remember the blows or anything. The next thing I remember, I was in the bath and I was so sore and I could see the bruises just appearing. And I knew I had to do something. And I knew I needed help. But I didn't want to get him in trouble, so I didn't want to go to the police. I don't know how I ended up at Citizens Advice Bureau in Otara. And there was a woman there. She said, "You cry it out. Don't you feel ashamed? This is not your fault. We are going to take legal steps to support you." And then he was served when he went to work with a protection order. My auntie and uncle, who were ministers in their church at the time, came over and I told them, "Well, my husband's no longer here." I told him to leave because of the violence. And they told me off. "Who do you think you are?" Maureen, pride is the biggest sin of all. How dare you make the father of your children leave his home? Think of your mother, think of your ainga. How shameful, how embarrassing, how can you do this to a good man? You call him now, tell him to come back. Get on your knees, ask his forgiveness. So he came over. And I asked him to forgive me. Yeah, so he came back. I think that's a massive barrier to my journey to safety and freedom for my children. And I know it still happens in families today. It just got to a point where it was the safety of my children or not. And that's when I decided enough is enough. So then I enforced the protection order. I couldn't sleep, worried he would try to come back. And so I would stay up all night. And the whole night I would just write. Wrote songs, wrote poems. I feel I can be free with my words, getting what's in here out onto paper. I then started a study course.
So what was it like when you first came to MIT?
I was really afraid because one, I thought I'd be the oldest person in the class.
Were you?
No, I wasn't. And two, I thought, I've been told I'm dumb for so long, so many times I thought maybe I wouldn't be good enough.
And so how did you feel once you got there?
I loved the certificate. It was a certificate in social sciences. It was everything I wanted and it was so easy for me. So I realized I'm not dumb. I can do this. But I also started to learn about human development and it just fired me up. Because I thought, I want my children to know this.
I know for myself as well, I found studying, it really gave me a sense of self. It just feels like this was the most empowering journey for you.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just what I was learning. My lecturers were, oh my gosh, like angels. They were the aunties and uncles I wish I'd had growing up. They were so empowering, so mana enhancing.
I think that's a really important thing to bring up. We can't do everything by ourselves. We absolutely need support. And so where are you at right this second with your studies and with your work?
Well, right this second, Simone, I recently submitted my thesis for my PhD. I work at MIT where I teach in the Bachelor of Applied Counselling program.
You've come full circle. You were a student and now you're a teacher. How does that feel?
It's a beautiful journey because I've been in the shoes of our tauira, our students. So would you like to offer an answer? So I want them to experience what I experienced as a tauira with my lecturers. Read it up. Go girl. Who are we to say that someone else's perception of what they see is incorrect, right? So you get extra points, honey. Beautiful, thank you. I weave in a lot of cultural, Indigenous creativity. I do music, but I'm also supporting our tamaitai in their study and empowering them as tamaitai, as women. When I graduated, I thought, how many other women are sitting at home being told, you're dumb, you're nothing without me, you can't do it. So we created a group called Aiku Talanoa, Indigenous Queen Talanoa. When COVID hit, 2020, I was getting messages, Maureen, I'm not coping. And it's not a safe space because now we're stuck together. So I talked with the board of our Aiku Talanoa. I said, I want to start a writing group online. It turned into a poetry writing group. And because of all the poetry coming out, we were able to publish a book. I stand atop a mountain, looking down upon my life. It seems like only yesterday I was a battered wife. I wrote a poem called Worth the Climb, included it in our first book. I see a sister's face of hope as she starts to ascend, this mountain that I stand upon, her misery to end. It's to encourage others, keep climbing. Whatever that mountain looks like for you, keep climbing. Dear sister, learn to love yourself and let your journey start. Your first small steps will take you high and strengthen your fair heart. As difficult, as traumatic as some of my past has been, look at me now, girl. Come join me on this mountaintop, dear sister friend of mine. It seems too high, but trust my words. It well is worth the climb.